Hey everyone, wonderful to chat with you today. It's Heather here, coming to you live, and details about our 24-hour fast that we're wanting to run next week with myself and Murray France. We're actually going to do a 24-hour fast, and we wanted to come in here today to actually tell you what's involved. And it's so great to have Murray France joining us today. I was just saying how that we've decided to do this 24-hour fast next week, and we're just wanting to give all the details, Murray France.
Yes, absolutely. We've talked about it a little bit some time ago. We had a few people putting their hand up to say, yes, I'll have a go. So this is something that I've been doing and Heather's been doing as well, just on our own like this, because we know that it is so good for you. We thought we invite any of you here to come and do it together with us. It is really all up to you. If you feel that you're ready, we will explain. Heather will give us quite a lot of information today. We will explain how it works and what does it take to do it. A fasting schedule of 16/8 is just perfect. It's amazing, and it is becoming a lot easier as we continue to do it. So, and I know, Heather, you're going to explain a lot, but if someone is brand new to fasting, that they've just starting here, maybe we suggest to wait sometime later. We will come back with this 24-hour fast and we will do it again. But again, this is something special that we do. We do have people that have said, I'm doing it. So Heather, tell us about how it works and what we're going to do.
Yeah, so the 24-hour fast is a great fast. Now, you might be sort of thinking, oh, you know, Murray France and Heather, they're just gone nuts. What are they talking about? How can you go 24 hours without eating? This is crazy. But there is a reason why we do the 24-hour. And I just want to agree with what you're saying there, Murray France, that there's no pressure for anyone to actually participate in this. It's something that we wanted to do, so we thought, oh, maybe there's other people that want to join us as well. And I just really want to say that any length of fast is a good fast, which is a great motto to have in our lives, even when we're doing the kickstart or we're on lifestyle side of our program. Any fasting is good for us when it's from 12 hours onwards. We're getting benefits from it. Our body is loving it. It's having a chance to do all the great things that it does when we're fasting. Just to share with you, okay, so any fast is a good fast. Why is 24 such a great fast to do? So what 24 hours without food does for our system is that it is so good for the digestive system. So if you imagine that our bodies have been used to taking in all this food and food and food and food, a lot of energy and, you know, resources go into digestion. And so the 24-hour fast is giving our whole digestive tract a bit of a break, and it's allowing it to sort of look at, okay, what else can I do? There's no food to be worried about, so what else can I do? And so this is the amazing thing of how our body actually works. What happens with a 24-hour fast is that the body will start creating stem cells. Now, stem cells are amazing. People will actually go and be injected with stem cells, mind you, for healing, you know, injuries or whatever, and it costs thousands of dollars here in Australia to actually have that done. And your body will produce them naturally with a 24-hour fast. So that in itself is amazing. Now, what happens with the stem cells that are produced in the 24-hour fast in our digestive system is that they go in and they start healing. And so for anybody that's got any kind of digestive issues, this is the great fast for that. So if you've got any bloating, you experience diarrhea, constipation, irritable bowel, any of those sort of symptoms that you experience, this fast is something that will actually help to heal the body from those complaints. And so that's what we find when we do this 24-hour, that there's lots of, you know, great things that happen. And I find it really interesting. As I get towards the end of the 24, my intestines or whatever it is start to have a bit of a song in there. Like there's lots of gurgling, there's lots of, you know, growling, there's, you know, there's activity. I can actually hear stuff going on in there. So I'm like, oh, okay. So
it's happening.
Yeah, something's happening. And so you may notice that as well, you know. So it is really great how it works. So it's allowing the body to do that healing. Now, you might think, oh, look, I'm fine, everything, I don't have any of those issues. But what we just need to sort of think about our lifestyle and things that have affected our digestive system, our microbes, our microbiome is, you know, just our modern living. So if we've had a life where we've had lots of processed foods, we may have consumed, because basically they're in everything, a lot of the toxic oils like the canola oils and those types of things, because they're just in everything pretty much, unless we're really looking at labels. If we've been on bouts of, you know, rounds of antibiotics, when you take one course of antibiotics, it destroys 90% of your good bacteria. So sure, it might actually get rid of the infection that you've had, but it's not helpful for our good bacteria. If you've been on medications, if you've, you know, consumed a lot of alcohol. So there's lots of things that come into affecting the digestive system. And so that's why this 24-hour fast is so great, because it comes in there and starts repairing some of those bad habits that you may have had. You know, diets high in sugar also kill off, you know, the microbiome. So there's a whole other side of that as well. So that's why we get so many benefits from doing the 24-hour fast. So how does it work? That's what we want to talk about. So if you think, okay, I'm having dinner tonight, and you know, say you have dinner at 6 p.m. As soon as you finished eating, so that last mouthful, that's when you start the clock on your 24 hours. And so let's say, you know, it takes you half an hour to have your dinner, you're finishing at 6:30 p.m. Then you will be fasting until 6:30 p.m. tomorrow night. So there's lots of variation that you can create as well, depending on your lifestyle. So, you know, you might want to do it from lunchtime to lunchtime. Or you might want to have late afternoon, have a meal, and then finish late afternoon. So that is totally up to you, how you want to work it, where we'll support you, whatever time zone you're on. Mary France, I know, look, you know, you'll be on a different time zone. I think Anne Sinclair, she's put her hand up. She's in Canada as well, I believe. So, you know, like there's different time zones, but somehow we'll all find this 24 hours where we can be doing it together. So, you know, that's an idea of how the 24 hours works. The great thing about it is that a big chunk of that will actually be sleeping. So that also passes, you know, some of the time. And so that's what we're going to do. Now, in that 24 hours, we're going to be drinking water. We're going to be having sparkling mineral water, unflavoured. We're going to be having black tea, black coffee. We can have, you know, herbal teas with no flavourings, those types of things. So we're just going to be consuming liquid. But our secret weapon, if we have it, is the natural mineral drink. Now, this is so important because it does give us those electrolytes for helping us to get through that fast. Now, what I do when I'm doing a 24-hour fast, I might take it 3 to 4 times during that process. So I'm having more than the daily recommended dose, but you know, if I'm feeling, you know, a little bit hungry, or I might be feeling a little bit lethargic, or I just have a dose of the natural mineral drink. Now, for those of you who don't have natural mineral drink, what do you do instead? So this is where our Himalayan rock salt or our Celtic sea salt comes into play, because again, those give you the electrolytes as well. So like I have the Himalayan rock salt, it's in, you know, little rocks because I put it in a grinder. I will just grab a couple of those, put them under my tongue and just let them slowly dissolve. And so that's the way that you can, and you can do that multiple times as well. So that's a way where you can still get the electrolytes in. You're not breaking your fast, but it will just help to keep you going. So we're not taking our supplements now. Heather, how could you say don't take your supplements? We're actually allowing the body to heal itself during this process.
Yes.
So we're tuning in, we're allowing the body to be unassisted, if you want to call it that, to just go and do the healing with the mechanisms that are actually in our body, because the body can heal itself. We take the supplements to supplement what we're not getting out of our diet and to help repair and all that sort of thing. But we're not going to do that in this particular fast, because we're just going to let the body do its thing. Apart from the natural mineral drink, we're not taking any of the other supplements, okay? Now, if you are on medication, you will need to still take your medication, obviously. So you'll just do that as per usual. So I think we've covered that. And then the other thing, sorry, Marie-France.
Yeah. Well, you know, just getting back with the minerals, because you did say it, the natural mineral drink, but I know, like us here, we don't have this one. We have the mineral supplement, but now it's great that it's available now in New Zealand. But for those who are using the red bottle of mineral, the mineral supplement, so we are not gonna have it during the 24 hours. So
Yeah.
if you can have your hands on the natural mineral drink, the blue bottle, that would be a good time now to order it already, to make sure that you have it for next Tuesday. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me of that point, Marie-France. And the reason why is, of course, that there are, you know, minute calories in the in the red bottle, but also you have your fruit concentrates as well, extracts. So that's going to trick the brain into thinking that, oh, something sweet is coming in. And you might be totally fine, but it might also break the fast. So that's why, you know, just to make it easy for everyone, if you have the natural mineral drink, one of my absolute favourite products anyway, use that. But if you don't have that, or you don't have access in Canada, then that's where you use your Himalayan rock salt or your Celtic sea salt in that instance.
Yeah. Can I just clarify one more thing about what we have during our fasting? Because I know a lot of people love to have a little squeeze of lemon in the water, and yes, it is very healthy, but we do not have that during the fasting. So we're not gonna have the lemon in the water for the fasting. Yeah.
And yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Okay. And then getting back to the salt, yes, the little pink Himalayan salt, having that, it will give you the electrolyte. But one other thing that I do all of the time is, and I think I mentioned it sometime before, but it's good reminder. So what I do is I take a small glass container and I put a big like a tablespoon of salt in that container, and I put some hot water with it and mix it until that salt is completely dissolved in like maybe one and a half cup of water. So 1 tablespoon, 1.5 cup of water in a glass jar, let's say. Yeah, could be in a glass jar. So when all that salt is melted completely in that water, I sit that next to my my water filter that is there on the bench, and I put 1 tablespoon of that water in my glass of water every time. And then, so you don't taste it, but you still have the electrolytes and the good salt to make sure that this water gets absorbed into your cells. So it's something to do not only during the 24-hour fast, it's something that you could do all the time. It's very, very good for you to have a little bit of salt with your water, because it helps to absorb it and not going straight through you. So, and it doesn't taste anything really. 1 tablespoon of that cup and a half of salted water, 1 tablespoon in your glass of water, it doesn't taste, and it's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So the other thing, I had it and now it's gone again.
Yeah, that happened. It's called menopause.
I know what it was. Yeah, I know what it was. The other thing I just want to mention is that no diet drinks.
No.
You know, that's the other thing. Like, obviously no diet drinks ever. But if some people do normally have like the diet Coke or whatever, I don't know what they are because I don't drink them. But if it is something that you have because you think that there's no calories in it, and so, you know, that's fine to have, we just want to caution you that don't have it. That's not a beverage that you want to drink, because the artificial sweetener, so sure, it doesn't have any sugar, but it's loaded with the artificial sweetener. Now, the artificial sweetener is tricking your brain into thinking that there is sugar, so you may as well have sugar. But the other thing that those artificial sweeteners do is that they kill off the microbiome in your gut. So, you know, that's a good enough reason to never have them. But if it is something that you have, then you're not going to have it during the 24-hour fast. So, you know, if you are a regular user of that sort of stuff, then just don't do it now. Please don't do it ever. But you are adults, so you have to make your own decisions. So, but yeah, just wanted to mention that. So, just also, there is a protocol. Excuse me. There is a protocol for actually breaking the fast as well. So when it comes to time to eat again, there is a bit of a protocol that we do need to follow, because we want to slowly reintroduce things into the digestive tract. So like, we're not going to, you know, potentially we could be so hungry that we decide that we're going to get burger and chips and a sundae, because, you know, like, we've fasted for 24 hours, surely we deserve a treat, right? We're not going to do that. Sorry to disappoint you. So, and obviously the obvious reason, I'm just being silly, but the obvious reasons why you wouldn't want to do that is because you've got all your bad fats, you've got your highly refined carbs, you've got your sugar. You're just basically going to undo all the goodness that's happened while you've been fasting. So we want to break the fast appropriately so that we can continue the process. When we reintroduce the food, we can continue the process of healing that takes place. Now, if this is a lot of stuff for you to remember, we are going to put it into a document, so you don't have to remember it all, and I'll break down the points. Excuse me.
Yep. Water, good for you.
Water. I'll break down the points that we've discussed in quite some detail.
Yeah. So, and this document, we will share it with you inside our separate little chat group.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. So it's called Reset Together 24-hour fast.
Yeah.
So if you see that coming, that's because you said you wanted to do. So we're not going to put any people in that group until you tell us that you do want to participate in the 24-hour fast. Then we'll invite you into the group, and that's where the document is going to be. Yeah.
Perfect. So just so you're a little bit prepared as well as to the timing of when you want to start and when you want to finish, the breaking of the fast is an important part of what we're doing. So because we want to reintroduce the food slowly, we want to start off with some things that are going to really support the microbiome in our gut. And so we're going to, start off with things like a little bit of avocado with some sauerkraut. So you're getting your good fats, you're getting some fermented food, you're getting some fiber out of the sauerkraut. So we're going to sort of start with that, or we could have some nice Greek yogurt that's, not sweetened, with some, blueberries. With that, we're getting some, protein, we're getting some fat, we're getting some antioxidants, we're getting fiber again. So all those sort of good things to go into our gut. For those of you who would normally, break your 16-hour fast with your shake, as an example, where that you might have your phyto greens, a bit of protein or something in that, probably not the fruit, because what happens when you blend fruit is that it actually makes the sugar more concentrated, and the whole process of actually chewing fruit is the way that our body can use it most effectively. So we probably, if you're going to do a shake, we wouldn't recommend that you put fruit in it. You could put some avocado in it. You could, and your phyto greens, that might be a good way to break the fast. You could also break it with some bone broth, which is another very, very good product to actually use. That's not beef stock, it's actually bone broth. So that's a, you can buy it in the supermarket. I've actually got a powder that I just add to water. It's full of collagen. It's something that's been, cooking for hours. So all the goodness out of the bones is actually in that. So that's very supportive and repairing for the gut. So you can start off with a cup of that. So we're sort of having something small initially. We're waiting for about half an hour to an hour, depending on how you're feeling. And then you can move into a meal which, has your protein, some good fat, nature's carbs, whether that's sort of some sweet potato, veggies, because other veggies have some carbs in it. So just a nice, you probably, believe it or not, you won't actually be ravenous. Like you might think, oh, I'm going to be so starving, I'm just going to be, eating non-stop, but you won't actually be hungry in that way. So, and that meal that I was talking about with your fats, protein, and some of nature's carbs is a great last meal to have before we go into the 24 hours, because you're covering all bases, and you're going to feel really good before then you go into the 24 hours. Now, I mean, this is a long video. I apologize, but there's a lot to share. But just in closing, I just want to say that the people that this is probably not suitable for, as Marie-France mentioned at the beginning, if you're brand new to fasting and you've just done like a 5-day kickstart where you were doing the 16 hours and you haven't kind of done much since, 24 hours is probably not going to be for you. However, if you're really desperate to do it, of course, we're here to support you, and we're not going to say you can't, but just know that it can be a challenge, because we're actually switching the body from constantly having glucose to power its energy. We're switching it now into it burning our fat for energy. And so for some people that takes a bit of, the body will take a bit of time to actually adjust to that difference. If it's the week before your period is due, then we would not recommend it either, because you'll find it very difficult. your body is naturally craving, more of the healthy carbs for a reason. And also we don't want to tank your hormones by putting it into a 24-hour fast. Fasting is not recommended during that week before your period is due. And of course, if you have any health concerns, then obviously, we're here to support you, but we are not doctors, so we can't, assist you if you've got some serious health concerns. So maybe we wouldn't recommend it in that situation. And the other group is if you feel that it would just be too hard and there's no way that you could possibly do that, then again, like we really encourage you to give it a go. And as we said at the beginning, any fast is a good fast. So even if you don't do the whole 24 hours, whatever you do achieve is going to be great for you. But a lot of it is our mental game that goes on. So it's the thoughts that come into our head. It's our habits that we've developed. Oh, normally I eat at this time. Normally I have a cappuccino at this time. Normally okay, so there's all that's going on in our heads. Yeah. So highly recommend that you try and keep as busy as possible with other activities. It's very difficult. We understand if you have to cook and prepare food for other people in your household while you're doing this. So we totally get that. We're here to support you through that. And yeah, keeping busy, having things planned for the day will actually help the time pass, so much.
Even Heather, having a nap in the afternoon,
Yep.
because your body is resetting here and healing. So, and sleeping is a great healing process as well. So maybe that day plan to pamper yourself a little bit, maybe as well, and have a nice bath or a nice little nap. Yeah. So this is your special day, so that will make it different to another day. Yeah,
absolutely. And doing things like that, having a nap, or going to having a shower, a bath, that sort of thing, or going outside for a walk, like doing things like that takes your brain out of the space of it's so long since I've eaten. So yeah.
And as you mentioned, Heather, that surprisingly, even if maybe you think about food through the day and I love my coffee, my cappuccino or whatever, but it's funny because when we arrive at the breaking fast, it feels like, oh, I'm not sure I want to do it yet. It feels like, and yeah, you don't feel so hungry, and you go, oh well, another 10 minutes maybe, something like that. So yeah, and that's why I think the bone broth is such a great way, because this is something you can maybe sip on a bone broth for another 1 hour or even a little longer if you feel like it, and it's fine. And then plan your nice meal that you're gonna have when you break your fast. Make sure you have the right food and you have it all planned, and you make it very enjoyable. If you share it with the family, then that would be fantastic as well. Make it a very special meal also. I think it makes it more enjoyable eating together with the family or with some friends.
Totally. And look, we just want to say again that we're here to support you through the process, and obviously if you start experiencing, and I'm not saying that you will, but I just want to put this out there, that if you start experiencing that you're lightheaded or dizzy, or you just feel in yourself that you can't continue, well then that is okay. It's because it is something, as I'm sure you've probably worked out now with the 16 hours, that initially that was very daunting and you thought, how am I going to do that? And then you started to get into a rhythm with that, and then it sort of just got easier, and the time passes, and then you think, oh, I should eat something. oh, it's time to eat, and you haven't even realized. And that's the same with the 24-hour. Like initially it can be just like so long. I remember the first time that I did it, I just thought, oh my goodness, how am I going to go that long? And I just sort of felt that it's uncomfortable, right? It's something we've never done before. It's uncomfortable. But being okay with being uncomfortable is really, really powerful. So yes, we're here obviously to support you, and we really want that messenger group to be going off so that people can say, oh, I feel amazing, or oh, I don't feel so good at the moment, what can I do? Like, we really want to support you through the process so we can see what we can all achieve together.
Absolutely. Can't wait to do it. So we're going to do on Tuesday. And as you said, Heather, people will start when they feel that they want to start. Probably more planning about what time do I would like to break my fast. And then work it backwards to finish your other meal. For me, when I do a 24, I try to finish I have a very early dinner, finish at 4:30, 5 o'clock, stop my eating at that time. So therefore, I can start eating at 5 or 4. And that for me is working fine. But other people, they find it easy to fast more in the evening. It could be lunch to lunch. And
breakfast to breakfast.
Absolutely.
Whatever works.
It all works. And of course, I'm on the other side of the world, and so while I'm sleeping, Heather will be there to support you. And we have Anne also that is in Canada as well. So we're both gonna maybe you're gonna hear ding 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 on your phone when Anne and I wake up in the morning and start talking to each other. But so we will be there for Tuesday, Wednesday until Thursday, talking together, exchanging how we went, our experience with it. And so we're so excited to be doing this together with you. And again, there's the video here that is going to be, you're going to be able to watch the replay. If you're watching replay, you can put #replay. We want to know that you're watching. And then make sure in the comment of this video or in the poll that's already posted in the group that you let us know that you want to participate. Because as I said before, there's no pressure and we're not chasing anyone to try to drag you into this. You have to put your hand up and say, I want to do it. And then we'll invite you into the chat group.
Also, like we're talking about Tuesday into Wednesday, if somebody wants to start Wednesday morning from breakfast and go to Thursday morning to breakfast as an example, or Wednesday lunchtime to that's fine as well. It doesn't have to be the Tuesday to Wednesday. We just obviously needed to pick a time. But if you've got something on and you're like, oh, I really want to do it, but I've got that dinner that I've got to go to, then that's also something that we can make work. So just let us know where you're at with all of that.
Wow, that's awesome. Great information. Lots of information, Heather. And as you mentioned, we'll have a full document that explains everything. And we'll pass it on to you in the chat group. Yes. All right. I think that we've covered everything. I'm getting really excited with, talking about it, to do it together like that, because, sometimes I've been doing it, and I know, Heather, you have been doing 24 hours or more sometime. And just, doing it on your own is fine, but doing it together is even much better. I think.
Absolutely. Okay.
All right. Well,
thank you everyone for watching, and let us know your thoughts If it's
Yeah.
too scary, let us know as well. But we look forward to helping you through the process.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks. Thanks,
Thank
Heather.
you.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.